down with OTC? Are you down with OTC? OTC. Are you down with OTC? Are you down with OTC? OTC. Are you down with OTC? Down with OTC. Down with OTC.
Who is down with OTC? What is going on? Happy Thursday, happy Friday morning, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Right, Jeff?
Happy Friday.
Jeff, your mic's not on. We need to throw your mic in there, but until you get it plugged in right there.
Not going
tonight we got a lot of stuff, good show planned. We got Ripple, XRP like we always talk about, but we're going to talk about the rails to move all of the money. Coinbase debuting it. It's coming out at $375 a share. I mean, when Palantir, that I've been waiting for 3 years for to come out and hit the market, opened at 9. So we had Roblox was supposed to open at 40. They ended up opening at 70 some dollars. I know my buddy missed it because he set a limit order for 60 and blew past that. So as we get going here, guys, drop in where you're from. I see Denmark is in the house. Let us know where you're from. Drop it in the channel. Let's get this show on the road.
Welcome to On the Chain with Jeff and Chip.
Hello.
Bam, you're back, Jeff. Man, it's always weird.
Back.
It's always weird when you're not quite that. You're like half there.
I was half here, half technical glitch, half present.
Today I'm running with absolutely every extension turned off, every application turned off. I think it's
perfect.
I think it's a browser issue, but I've got another couple of theories. It might be the camera, but regardless of that, I mean, hello to everybody out there. If you're watching on the rewatch, but I got the Berg in the house, Pittsburgh. I went to school there. I love yins, as they say. I don't know if they still say that in Pittsburgh. They used to say yins instead of y'all or yins.
Man, I heard you talking about the Coinbase. Coinbase isn't even live yet.
375, Jeff.
375 already, and not even on NASDAQ yet. And it's already there going through the private investment. It came out, they said it was going to be 200 and just, quickly ramped up. There's a good chance it's going to be over $400 before it goes to the direct listing.
All right, let me ask you this. All seriousness, is that overblown? Is it inflated, do you think?
Well, the private trading, when you go direct listing, from my understanding, it's completely different than the typical IPO process. The typical IPO process, they get discounts, goes to financial institutions. They talk about an IPO list price or launch price and all this, hype that goes on. And before it even launches, they're already at a much higher price point. The direct listing allows shareholders to actually list and sell their shares immediately. And they make a certain X amount available to be sold. But I think there's a lot of hype involved in it. I do believe people are fired up because even the private sales that are going on right now, as it's getting approved, it's all hype excitement, a lot of FOMO going on. But the question is it going to maintain? Is it something that you want to invest into? If you're willing, to put $1,800 into an ETH, are you willing to put $300-$400 into a Coinbase? And where's the pot? Where can it go? So here's one thing to consider as I've been trying to weigh it. Binance with the BNB token, which is currently almost at $300, or Coinbase, the entire platform that you're actually, it's an actual security. You're holding an actual share of Coinbase, the exchange that's going to grow and develop and possibly be one of the dominant players in the U.S. market. Which do you go with? Which actually makes more sense?
Yeah, I think digital assets make sense. Diehard says, hey, Coinbase better open up crypto to purchase and handcuff New York. Professor XRP is disappointed there's no sparkles going on your shirt. I think it's the first time this week.
Sparkles the other day, yeah.
Yeah, it's the first time this week. Connie says hit the like and subscribe, the bell notification, and a sweet little butterfly with some music. So
and then
that's all good. Then we got Monterey. Go Blue from Michigan. Blue. By the way, that is one of the greatest. University of Michigan, that stadium, man. When there's a football game and it's full capacity, there's 110,000 people in there, Jeff. Man, that's got to be one of the coolest experiences to be in that stadium and it going crazy. I mean, it dwarfs any pro stadium. A regular pro stadium's like 60,000. It's like 110,000. I think 108,000, something like that.
Insane. I've actually never been to a game. I've been in the outside.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that, Jeff. But if you're outside, if you're tailgating, I'm going to give you a pass on that because that is okay. As long as you were tailgating, that's as good as being in the stadium because that's a lot more stuff. That's where all the fun is, right? Tailgating is really a lot of fun. There's so much stuff going on. I was looking through this week. Jeff and I have like a little app that we use, and we kind of like put stories in there all week. We didn't even get to half the stories we want to do. We only get to a couple of them, but. Talking about Ripple, basically running the table, if you will. Run the table, run the rails, move the money. All of the money, Jeff.
The money.
Not maybe some of it.
Talking about all of it.
All in. It's like push the chips in. Get it? Chips. Put all the chips in. And let them fall where they may. It's just that big giant pile and they go all in, poker face. And that's what they're trying to do right now, shake out the weak hands, And I was talking to a buddy of mine today who you guys know from the community, and we were saying, we feel bad for some of the people that kind of like bailed and sold their bags of XRP and got down by the whole thing and like freaked out because the SEC and oh my gosh, they're bringing a suit against Ripple and they basically sold their bags. They hit the panic button, and we both were kind of under the impression, as you and I have talked about, Jeff, that at some point this thing's going to go like parabolic. It's going to be you'll try to buy at 4. And it'll be at 6. You'll try to get it at 6, it'll be at 10. It's going to go crazy because it's going to be on sale. And what I like about what's happening right now is what's happening with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is bringing them all in. It's like you bring them into, it's like if you have an attraction, right? It's like a circus or the zoo. There's always somebody, like maybe if people want to see the gorillas, or the giraffe, whatever it is. They bring him in, but they're like, hey, there's a bunch of other animals in here. And they start walking around. They all have their favorites. Hey, look at the koala bear. That's kind of cute. And then, like, we have our own dancing bears. That's kind of cute. We have Bearable Guy 1, 2, BG 1, 2, 3. So, it's a whole, and it's bringing them in mass. And you have every day there's a new institutional investor that's telling their every day, we can't ignore it anymore. It's just too big. We got to look into it. So I think that is absolutely phenom, Jeff.
But I'll tell you what, man, I was reading the news and I said, if this guy says, Bitcoin is good, then Bitcoin's got to be good. Hang on a second. I got to pull this up. So none other than, here it is. None other than Anthony Scaramucci. He said it's not too late to buy Bitcoin. Just look at Amazon's run since 2009. So you know what? If he says so, then it's got to be true. What do you think?
I think he does a better podcast than I would have expected. I'll be honest with you. I've seen a couple episodes of his podcast, and he's done some pretty decent interviews. But look, he's a very successful investment banker. It's not like everyone knows him from his antics, from his 9-day stint in the White House and all the dropping F-bombs and all that. But he is a competent guy. He did run a pretty solid investment fund. He is pretty well off. He just doesn't know how to buy a mic. It's like you do a podcast. It's like, get a mic, get a Yeti. A Yeti mic's like $100. I mean, it's not going to break the bank. The guy's a multimillionaire.
That's the statement right there, Chip. He said he predicted Bitcoin will trade with less volatility over time, just as Amazon shares have done. And he's looking at this like, Amazon 2009. He said Bitcoin's 12 years old, but if you bought Amazon after the 12th year, you got a 64x return on your money from 2009 to 2021. The guy knows what he's talking about.
He does.
But I find, to me, this is just more, and it's mainstream. Everything is being pumped mainstream, Chip. And I'm wondering, does this go back to the conversation that we're having the other night? Bitcoin, Ethereum were highlighted and pumped by the SEC. Is it any coincidence that it's Bitcoin and Ethereum that are now being highlighted and pumped and FOMO'd by the mainstream media?
Look at this, Jeff. I got a little distracted by that comment. Went to UM, nearly messed my pants first time I stepped in a big house. I thought, yeah, that's pretty much it. No, but it's great. I mean, I think ultimately, it is great. He's not. Wait, someone said Mooch isn't as successful as you think. Someone said that. Yo, guys, Mooch isn't as successful as you think. Well, he's successful. He's more successful than most. And I thought this was pretty good. Ray Dalio, he weighs in. So this is kind of an interesting clip to play as well, because I think this is our sentiment right here, Jeff. Let's put this on here. Let me know if you don't hear the sound. Go ahead and let me just back that up here.
So Ray, you're recognized as one of the great investors of our age. So give us some investment advice here. Given what your analysis of how this works, what's going to happen, given what we're doing right now, what's the best investment? We heard Jamie Dimon just recently say he wouldn't touch a 10-year treasury bond with a 10-foot pole.
Well, I wouldn't touch a 10-year treasury pole with a 10-year pole either. Cash is trash. In other words,
cash is trash, Jeff. You see this? Talking about fiat.
Trash.
This is what a great buzzword that is. Cash is trash. So go ahead, lay it down, Ray.
Looks like a low risk thing to hold, but it's not, because when you have a zero interest rate, or in some cases in foreign countries slightly negative interest rate, and you have an inflation rate of 2% or higher, you raise the volume a bit. People are having problems hearing it.
Can't hear it at all.
Yeah, let's see. I don't think I can raise it. It's all the way up. I'll raise it up. It's all the way up. So unfortunately, these, when you share them, you just can't.
At a rate of about 2% a year.
It's really low.
You lose a lot of buying power.
Yeah.
And so
people
this
can't
is
hear
one
it.
of those environments you don't want to hold cash.
I raise my own volume.
Do you hear it at all or no?
I can hear it. I can raise my own volume, but I don't know. I don't know if people are maxed out on their volume.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have it all the way up here, and I have my volume all the way up, so there's nothing I can do. It's just the way it's just the software. So
anything, maybe you borrow some cash and find something that has better than a zero interest rate in it, or something that has inflation. If you bought the average thing, which is inflating at 2% or more a year, you'd be better off. However, So then the other thing you need to do is diversify well.
Ooh.
Okay. So
Diversify.
don't
That's
have
good.
cash. And then you need diversification. And the diversification should be currency diversification, country diversification, as well as asset class diversification. Because on average, asset classes and things will be better than cash. And that spread is what you should diversify, because it reduces your risks and the uncertainties.
That's right.
And for God's sakes, don't own cash.
There he goes. Don't own cash.
How many times has he said that? For God's sakes.
Cash is trash. Don't own cash. He didn't say don't own fiat, but when he's talking about asset classes, he's talking about everything is better. I love that line. Everything is better. Asset classes, crypto's an asset class, derivatives, ETF, everything is an asset class. It's going to do better than if you were to sit there and have money sitting in a bank. So, I thought he did a really good job of that. And I just love cash is trash.
Country diversification. Oscar saying like offshore bank accounts. I can dig it.
I can dig it.
But it's good, man. Country diversification, because when one country is doing bad, another might be doing well. Asset diversification, when one's doing bad, another might be doing well. And you just kind of go across the board. Have the stocks, and if you're well balanced, then your overall net return should be positive overall, unless the market's falling out. And then don't look at your portfolio.
Right, then don't.
Because it's terrifying.
Yeah, don't look at it, because you're not going to like what you see potentially. Look at this one. Sometimes a tweet with a few words captures everything. I like this one right here. It says, Americans, hey, why are my groceries becoming more expensive? The Federal Reserve. It's like, what?
The price of gas?
It's not inflation. Nope. What?
Not yet.
That is some funny. That is some funny stuff, Jeff. Right there, man.
Everything's right there. Inflation is on its way.
Yeah. Well, that's what Powell said. Chairman Powell said that they might actually have to increase the rates because, inflation.
Yeah, exactly. If you listen to Tom Nash does.
I like Tom Nash.
He does a great YouTube channel. Tears up on some stocks, and he was talking about Janet Yellen the other day. And, she was being questioned, and he played her statements back, and she was questioned about inflation. And her statement basically was like, no, don't worry about it. We're not worried about it. We're going to keep, spending, and we're going to keep doing this stuff. We're not worried about the inflation. And he stops. He goes, what? He goes, what in the world is she talking about? But you know what? I was listening to, some of her presentations or interviews or whatever. And man, what in the world is going on when we have people in their 80s that are now in, high leadership positions in this country? I look around and I loved my grandparents, and, I loved my, elder, relative, but I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want them in charge of a country in their, in their 80s.
That's weird. I was planning on running a country in my 80s. So,
maybe it's good when you're down in Cuba or Venezuela, man. You can do it forever, but I'm telling you, man, they're too slow. Their mind isn't clicking on all cylinders. They might have a lot of knowledge up there, but man, you get to a point where, there already has-beens, and you shouldn't resurrect the has-beens.
Jeff, no, that's not exactly what it is. It's an ideology. It's a come from. The come from is the problem, because I know people who are in their mid to late 80s who are there, but again, they have a different way of looking at stuff and thinking about stuff. This is a beautiful play into this, Jeff. This totally enhances what you just said. Janet Yellen, she vows to use the full power of the U.S. government to tackle climate change. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Jeff, what?
Can we use nuclear bombs?
She wants to. She says she wants to. The U.S. government will marshal all of its resources. Now, last time I checked, Jeff, and correct me if I'm wrong, she's the Treasury Secretary, right?
As far as I'm aware.
Now you think. Now you know who's going to love this and eat this up and can't wait to get up and finger licking, kind of stuff. Brad Garlinghouse and David Schwartz. They love this kind of stuff. Oh yeah, we got to tackle this. This is really important. So he tasked, now listen to this, Biden tasked the Treasury Department with using the vote of the voice of the United States to advance admission. Dude, what does this have to do with her being the Treasury Secretary?
Is that Jubilee? Is that the debt Jubilee? What is that?
Let's see what this is. I don't know what she's
geez.
talking about. Underscore to top it. Wait, climate change, reducing global poverty, and meeting with Christian and Jewish leaders and the Jubilee
Religious
USA
leaders.
Network. What the hell?
What does this have to do with what, why are we, climate change within religious groups?
This
I don't
is
understand
exactly because this is why we're not talking about token taxonomy. One of the greatest wealth transfers in the history of not just the United States, not just the globe, of the all time. There's never going to be a part in time, at least to this point, that there was being the greatest wealth transfer. Man, and they're out there talking about, like, we ought to fix this, we ought to do that, and carbon emissions. Hey, that's great, but how about we pass some legislation that has a direct impact, like in a matter of like a week.
Exactly.
Goes to the House, goes to the Senate, you talk about it, gets signed, 3 days, boom, we got regulations, and everyone is off and running.
Instead, Dianne Feinstein is talking about military-style weapon bans. Military style, you know what that means? Military style, that means the look. Not the full capabilities, because military doesn't exist on the streets, but the look of it is scary. And this is what they're focused on. This is their mindset, man. I mean, they're just like, they can't get their eye to focus on what's critical for the development of this country. The rest of the world is looking at us. They're like, you guys are a bunch of fools over there. It's like, what in the world are you doing? Why don't you tie your shoes, tuck your shirt in, and start focusing on what's critical. Holy cow.
I think, guys, if you're going to play a drinking game, if every time Jeff talks about tying shoes or untied shoes, you drink. You do a shot of tequila, maybe a little bit of rum shots or whatever. And I'm sure there's something that I say repeatedly. You'll let us know down in the chat, but there's always stuff that we say. But, I can't disagree with you.
That's right. And get your feet off the coffee table, damn it.
Damn it, get your feet off the coffee table. I'm turning to my father, damn it. Look at this right here. 4.6 million in Filecoin, double deposited on Binance. Oh no, Jeff, exploit open on other exchanges. So, and Filecoin just had a little bit of a run up, right? It's not a true double spend. Not true, but it does matter if the funds are still duplicated and traded. Well, hell yeah, it matters, because then you got a big problem. The very problem Bitcoin's proof of work design was meant to stop just took place on the Filecoin network. Yeah. According to the Filecoin miners at Filefox and Filestar, because they have to have the name in their company, Binance processed a double deposit of File on Wednesday worth millions of dollars. So, it's like, okay, there's a bit of something not so cool, but gosh, I'm just thankful it's not another bad story about Bitcoin, Ethereum, XLM. It's always, and it's like Filecoin. It's okay. We'll survive it, man. Everyone's not too worried about it, right?
The Filecoin. I don't know.
It's freaking Filecoin.
Dude, did you watch Thinking Crypto's interview with David Schwartz?
I watched some of it. I watched a good part of it. Yeah, a good portion of it I watched.
So, so I was watching it this morning. I thought some of the things that David Schwartz was talking about were really interesting. The one thing that he brought up, though, he was talking about decentralized asset currency versus centralized currency, and the fact that many of these CBDCs won't be built on decentralized because the governments want an off switch. They want to be able to control it, and they're afraid that if they build it on this other platform, they're not comfortable yet with the decentralized nature. And I thought that was really telling, because we're seeing that go on all over the world. I didn't hear the whole thing. I didn't get to the point where he was referencing the rails, because here's one thing he talked about. He was saying, if you want to build a walled garden, we'll build you a walled garden, but we're going to put something in that allows you to take the walls down. And I thought that was very, very poignant. So you want a CBDC, here it is. You want walls around it, here it is. You can control it and do whatever you want. When you're ready, we can remove one of the walls, and then maybe all the walls, and then you can join the decentralized platforms. But in the meantime, they got to connect those, all these little walled gardens all over the place are going to have to connect with each other.
Yeah, look, I mean, they have all the bases covered, but the bottom line is, it's in the name. Central digital bank currency, run by central banks and central control and centralized. I mean, This is the whole thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, the CBDCs are going to be just fantastic." Well, they absolutely can be, and especially if they're going to use the the ledger, the XRPL. They're going to leverage XRP in a way when they're going back and forth. That's the bridge currency. So the bridge currency is going to solve a real problem for a lot of these CBDCs. That's where I feel like. Actually, Crypto Daddy did a really good video this morning too. She talked about, was it today or yesterday? They all blend together. But she was talking about another a blockchain that's interoperable. So I think that right there, the blockchain's interoperability, Quant. We talked about one last night. I think that's going to be really key, because what's happening is everyone's sort of building in a weird way. They're blockchains, but they're sort of their own silos, like everything David Schwartz talked about. They're building their own walled gardens here and there. Now they all have to be able to talk to each other, but when it comes to moving all the money and having that bridge currency, there really isn't a better solution. Because when MoneyGram went down, you and I were talking about it. We were like, well, what could they use? And we thought, well, can they use XLM? XLM hasn't really built the rails, right? They don't really have the software there. Now they have the ability to do it, but did they lay down the rails, or did they build the software? So it's not a matter of the property of the actual token. Hedera Hashgraph too, similar type properties, 3 to 4 seconds that they can move it in, and all this other stuff. So
yeah,
you just got to be built. The rails have to be built.
That's right. You talk about Stellar and XLM. So the Stellar Development Foundation has invested $750,000 in Nigeria remittance platform. If you want to go where the money is, you go to Africa, you go to developing nations where they're just building, all of the financial networks. And now's the time to do it. Man, it's amazing, because you think about, how many people you can connect, and, you're talking about remittance, cross border, but even, inside the country. But this is really outstanding. I love seeing that there's development going on over in Africa. I don't know what happened with that. But Nigeria has definitely been great. Look at that, page not found. They just disabled it. How nice of them. But man, I'm seeing more and more trend. A lot of financial structured platforms, real world stuff. Here you talk about a lot of these solutions that are popping up that may or may not be put into use right now, but over in Africa, they're taking these these things, and they're immediately putting them into reality. So that's what we're going to see here. Now you can't see it because I'm getting a 404.
Well, I will show you this thing here. So under that same type of thing, I just love what's happening in Africa, because there's another company. This caught my eye too on TechCrunch the other day. Let me pop this one up. But this is so Flutterware raises 170 million, now valued at over $1 billion. So this is phenomenal. It's another payments company, and if you look at what they're doing, they're kind of doing something kind of cool in the space, as far as when you're looking at Africa is concerned. So what they're doing is they're allowing you to, obviously, payments anywhere, debit cards, mobile pay, bank transfer. Now, I didn't see anything specific, point of sale, bank accounts, but again, you got to remember, this is Africa. Now they're issuing these kind of these burner cards, right? These virtual cards, and you can create them in either Visa or MasterCard. And one of the things that they're doing is right here, create a fintech business, few lines of issuing API code. So you're building something, you take their API code, leverage it. That way they have all the back end stuff. And now you can put together a simple app to be able to send payments back and forth. Or if you're some kind of a merchant, you can do it. So I thought this company is really growing at a massive scale right here. I thought it was pretty phenomenal. And if you look here, they were in here twice. I remember seeing these guys in here the other day. So Series C round closed 35 million Series B and a 20 million Series A in 2018. So in 2 years, they become a $1 billion company.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it froze
again. That is fantastic. Widescreen Repairs is saying that he was referred by the blockchain backer. Love the shows, guys. Appreciate you being on. Appreciate you taking the time to watch.
Yeah,
it's outstanding.
Sure, yep. And I noticed that it's not my extensions. You notice that, Jeff?
Yeah, I just saw you freeze up.
Yeah, I'm going to go out and come back. I'll be right back.
Are you on Brave? Oh, now that we got rid of him, he went to go meet up with the wealthy Nigerian prince who sold tokens to him. So, all right, what is next on our agenda? So, as we start talking about, we're talking about the development in this finance space. One thing that is critical, the one thing that we see here, we're starting to see the normalization of the discussion on digital asset, on Bitcoin. We see that CNBC, Anthony Scaramucci, and others keep talking about it, referencing it. We know that in this country, we've seen some of the big corporations investing and getting into it now. One that I didn't really anticipate coming out yet, but everybody's got to get their say in, and that is Deutsche Bank is saying that Bitcoin is now just too important to ignore. That's the Deutsche Bank right there.
But Jeff, do you find that like remarkable that the whole idea of Bitcoin, I mean, the promise of Bitcoin early days was like anarchy, right? It was like, we hate banks, we want to crush banks, we want to do everything outside, we want to build our own sort of infrastructure. And now the banks are flocking to Bitcoin. It's a remarkable sort of a turn of events, man. It's phenomenal.
It's amazing because the writing's on the wall. Yeah, I do like that. I love that idea that, you have 10, 11 years ago, right? I mean, this whole movement that said, hey, we're getting rid of banks. Bitcoin's going to replace banks. We don't need banks. We can get rid of the system. We're going to change the whole system 100%. It's amazing. And then you come forward 11 years and every major, financial institution is talking about it.
And Deutsche Bank has been having some problems as of late, but, they're seeing the writing on the wall too, because if they can earn fees by selling it to their existing base, right, their existing customers, man, how fantastic would that be? They can go out there and just start making some money, right? Because the thing is, if they don't dive in and if they're not going to be part of it, they're going to be sitting on the sidelines. Then it's too late to dive in.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting too, because we were talking yesterday about Morgan Stanley.
Right.
And as banks will do, Morgan Stanley wants to make the Bitcoin available to their people. Not to everybody that works with Morgan Stanley, but only if you have a $2 million portfolio sitting with Morgan Stanley. And the financial institutions or the financial groups working with them have to have at least $5 million. So, obviously they're only focused internally on how to get, and boost, wealth. Wealth will create more wealth. Here, I'm wondering what Deutsche Bank is thinking about, but I find it, this statement is interesting that Bitcoin can no longer be ignored because its market cap exceeded $1 trillion. So when it was 800 billion, wasn't enough. 500 billion, not enough. When it got over $1 trillion, they're like, oh my God, Bitcoin. Now you can't ignore it any longer because it's going places.
All right, let me settle it up with Stealth Eye. Sorry, it's not a new ISP. First of all, I got a smoking Mac with 32 gigs of RAM. I've got an i9 processor in here. Okay, so first of all, it's not that. The ISP, I just upgraded everything. It's doing extremely well. I got 20 something up. I got 400 down. It's not that. It's the browser. I made this sad mistake, and I always hate doing this. Should I upgrade? Yeah, I'll upgrade the browser. First of all, Chrome is dirt. It's a dirty browser. I'm going to have to jump on a different browser because I've got a lot of RAM.
You were going to try Brave today.
I was going to try it, but I thought, let me turn my extensions off. Let me try that. I thought there might have been a conflict. I read up on it a little bit, but no. I don't know. The thing is, there's a lot of memory leaks in this shit. A lot of memory leaks.
Can we do a poll on this? We can't do a poll on this thing, can we? It'd be interesting to hear which browsers you guys use. What's your favorite browser that you use every single day? I would love to see what people say to that.
They do,
especially given some of the digital asset integration with some of these browsers.
There's Sambo the God. He says Brave. Well, that's interesting because we're going to talk about this next story here. I want to see what people. Brave's the way to go. Haven't had any problems. Yeah, it's not supposed to run well on Brave, which is why I didn't try it tonight, but I'm going to try it. So we got a lot of Brave fans in here. Netscape, what in the hell? DB Cooper, you jumped out of the back of a plane. What do you know? Man, DB Cooper is here. Holy cow, I know where he is. Quick, track his ISP, his IP address.
There's a lot of Brave browsers.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go. DuckDuckGo with Brave. There you go. That's a David Sloan.
I was using DuckDuckGo for a while, and then
Brave
I find
and Tor.
it doesn't
Opera, there you go.
Opera. Yeah, there you go.
No, it's supposed to work well with Opera too, so I might have to use Revolution. Revolution. So that's just trying to use
XRP panic.
I use Brave to watch you, but I can't comment. So open up Chrome, then I put it in silent to make the comments. Bloody annoying. Yeah. Well. Hang on a second. Let me Tor. There's another one. Tor. DuckDuckGo. Well, DuckDuckGo is not a browser, is it? It's just a search engine. Brave. Yeah, a lot of Brave fans in here.
A lot of Brave fans. It's amazing.
So hopefully I will not freeze up. But let me put this next story up here. But this is a new development here from our pals over at Grayscale. Look at this. They have started a Grayscale Basic Attention Token Trust, which is what you earn on BAT. And I will say, guys, thank you for using Brave, because you want to know something. You guys have done, because we have Brave hooked up to the channel, and you guys, we do get BAT for this. And we just checked our account the other day, Jeff, and we were like, holy crap, we got a lot of BAT in there.
We get more BAT than we get XRP. So we have Coil connected, and we get, little sprinkles of XRP through their micro payments, when we're streaming. But yeah, with the BAT, with the Brave browser, I mean, it's really amazing. I was really surprised. We logged in and we haven't checked it, and I don't know how long. And it was really impressive.
Yeah, so just like they've done every other sort of a trust, they had the Bitcoin trust, they had the XRP trust, but they didn't have a way to get it back out, so they had to basically, deep six that one and sunset it.
Clutch. What is up, freaking Clutch?
We haven't seen freaking Clutch in a Puma browser. There you go, Coil built in, nice. Yeah, I remember. So every time I look at stuff that's like Coil enabled, especially like the Coil blogs, I always, whatever browser I'm in, I copy it. And then if I go to Coil, it'll say, do you want to paste a link? I'll paste it because I want to be streaming payments. Coil's a nice one. Coil's mobile only though.
Yeah. See, Jason is, he's saying, why don't you just use the same browser I use? Because I don't have any issues.
Well, because I'm on a Mac and Jeff's on a PC.
I use Chrome on a PC, and he has to use a Mac. He has to be different and try to use the whole Apple thing. And Apple's it's probably your Mac that's corrupting it, because it wants you to use Safari.
Yeah, Safari doesn't work with this, so
right. I know.
Safari is a fast ass browser though. I do use that quite a bit. It is fast, smoking fast and clean. But
Chip, we have a new NFT. It's going to be the lemon tree.
There you go. That's nice. Apple's the best, pure thing. The whole ecosystem's great. I've been into it for years. I mean, in 1992, I bought a Mac 2 CX for $7,200. So to me, you can get a smoking Mac for about $4,000 now. And it's a browser, man. It's a browser issue. So I'll have to try something else. We'll get into it. But I like the whole idea of Grayscale, experimenting. BAT kind of shocked me. But then again, as we started looking at, the BAT you guys send us, because you guys are all on Brave, we found out too that we can actually add like a little banner in there too. There's like, we didn't realize there's some other things we can do. We used to do a show on Cinnamon. We actually are on Cinnamon. We did an exclusive show. We just couldn't get enough adoption with it. If you guys look, I probably can pull it up.
Not enough users over there.
There just weren't enough users over there, unfortunately. And we've had the CEO on the show, and we liked the project and stuff, but I mean, it was just a lot more work for us.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing this full time, then maybe,
yeah, we're doing some other things. Like, for example, we're going to do, because a lot of people say like, hey, well, how do we support you? You can buy us a coffee. And guys, thank you for the coffees. Jeff and I have been drinking them like mad, but like, that's what we do. We don't have a Patreon. People are like, well, how do we support you if we don't, support you in the stream? I'm like, well, you can buy us a coffee. That's one of the ways. And so you guys buy us coffees. The other one is, we're going to be adding a join very shortly where you're going to have custom emojis and stuff. And then we're going to do something for, we're just going to have two levels, and then the one level, we'll do some like more intimate stuff. We do like a just a group, only type of thing, or it's a little bit more of an intimate thing. But because people reach out to us, they DM us like, hey man, I mean, is there something we can do? And I'm like, just relax a little bit, Then we're going to be releasing a merch store, mostly because it's selfish and Jeff and I want to wear our own merch, but I mean, we'll probably open it up.
Where I keep buying shirts, and I want to get a shirt with the On the Chain logo. I want one that says XRP, not 100% sure. I think it's magic.
Yeah.
I want another one that has the HODL Review logo on it.
The XRP
Maybe
minute.
One with the XRP minute. Yeah, no, we'll mix them up.
How about the the round table on the Chain Live?
Oh, there's all sorts
Hoodie,
of
you know,
great
have a
shirts I can
hoodie.
wear.
Everyone likes a hoodie,
I'm
man.
gonna get all of them.
And I got so
Every
many
one of them.
hoodies. You know, when I used to go travel with the corporate guys, they said I looked like a because I have this thing when I like travel. I have this like I have a hoodie that I pull up. I always have over my head, and they like I look like a they go like you just look scary with the hoodie on. I got the hoodie, then I wear like glasses, then I got the neck thing, and then I got the thing over my eyes, and then I got my my ear pods, and they're like, "What's up with the hoodie, man?" I'm like, "I just like hoodies. They're just comfortable." And they're like wearing sport jackets or something. I'm wearing a sport jacket on a plane, dude. I'll put my jacket on when I get out the plane, but I'm not wearing a sport jacket on the plane. It's like, hello, I'm Biff. Hello, people. Nah, man, I come in with the hoodie pulled down because then you can pull it right down like that and just wrap it around. And man, I love it.
Hey, Chip, you know, it'd be cool to talk about.
Hodl for life.
Sidetrack some stuff. Let's talk about Hodl for life. Let's talk about Pack.
Yeah, let's talk about Pack. So I wanted to.
Pack is interesting.
So I got to tell you, last night I walked into a really interesting. I was just about ready to go to sleep, and I was like,
Hey, Chip, how many people know about Vincent Wilson?
A lot of people know about Vincent Wilson. Well,
but a lot of the new people probably have no idea what a Vincent Wilson is.
If you're an OG, you probably don't know. But I mean, if you are an OG, you know. But if you're someone new, you probably don't have any idea. But that's okay.
And what happened to him, man? He just disappeared.
I think I saw him on Twitter once. I don't know.
Really?
I need a neck tattoo. Yeah, man. I need a neck tattoo, man.
There we go. I was trying to shut it off.
You know, I'll get one of those tattoos like right over my eye. One of those things.
Yeah. All right. So Pack.
I did think about getting a tattoo once, Jeff, but it would have been like right. It would have been right on the small of my back, just in case, you know, like
Life of Ripple wins a merch.
Yeah, it's 20K right there, man. Boom, 20K. That was a Vincent Wilson.
Wilson is a 20K. That's right.
The theory, you only needed that. But I did think about getting a tattoo. It was on the small of my back right there. It was direction.
Here we go. Oh, somebody else got it. Hang on.
20K would be what?
20K could be life changing.
There it is, Reg. Yeah. So yeah, Jeff. Last time, unless you want to like throw another comment up there, I did think about getting a tattoo.
Sorry. Had
it all planned out. Was going to be just in case, you know, sometimes you drink too much whiskey, who knows where you're at, right? And just in case I passed out, it'll be directions right over there, right over the plumber thing there, and it would say exit only, just in case anyone had any weird doubts, you know, just in case somebody was like, you know, they needed directions, just so they knew that was it. It was just an exit. That was it. There was nothing else. Yeah, 22. Well, pretend I didn't see that.
170, 179 said that too. That was pretty funny.
No regrets, people. No regrets.
So Pack, what do you think of the Pack?
So I'm very down with the whole Pack thing. So last night, a little James Rule XRP and David XRP, they're hosting this little thing. It was like, you know, about running Pack nodes, and I was like, holy crap, what is this? I'm gonna jump in there. Then I'm talking to everybody. Next thing you know, the whole damn clubhouse filled up. By the way, it's iOS only. So I was gonna try. Jeff, you need to get. Oh, Jeff, no, he can't join, but. David Gochstein was in there with two of his associates from Pack, and the basic thing is that first of all, they got a lot of cool things going on, but one of the biggest developments happened about a month ago. They put a tweet out there saying that they are partnering with Flare. Ooh. When I was looking at it, it was 0.003. I think it's 0.009 right now. It's like tripled basically over the last couple of weeks. You can basically run a node. Cost you you need 500,000 of those puppies.
500,000.
Yeah, 500,000. But here's the thing. You mine so many per month, and it ends up being around 107,000 per year, which is pretty freaking amazing. Suppose that thing goes up to 50 cents. It's 50 grand a year. Suppose it hits $1. It's 100 grand a year. So, and I know James spun up a bunch of them. About these nodes, but there's other things too that are coming. I know some of the things they had talked about or at least alluded to, but especially with the file sharing part of it, which I really, because I mean, you really want to put your stuff out on AWS. Do you trust Amazon with your personal stuff? I don't. So I love the whole idea of the blockchain storage. I like the whole idea of being able to store files, but you know, in a very quick and easy way to get it. So there's a whole bunch of things, use cases that are being built, not to mention the whole Flare side, but the whole idea of even opening up one of these nodes and being able to get 107,000 is pretty phenomenal. That's just a couple of the little minor things, right?
It's really cool.
Look at that. It's
I like the
0.00925. So it's about to flip, which makes me very angry because I was trying to move some money around, Jeff, to get into that. And, you know, moving money is slow.
That's right. We got to just make it happen. Andrew Nation, Fraser says he's convinced that I have hair, but it's green, so you can't see it.
You keep believing that. You keep believing that. See, I have mannequin hair, Jeff. I've always had mannequin hair. It's real hair, but it looks like a mannequin. It looks like it belongs on some kind of a mannequin. You know, I've always had mannequin hair.
All right, so we get the pack. We get the pack node. We get the Zinfin node. We get all these nodes set up.
No, exactly right. Well, one of the things they brought up,
community nodes.
Yeah, they brought up one of the other things on there that I'm trying to think what coin was it? It was one of the coins right there. He said you could buy into it for like maybe 1,500 to 2,000 at the time. Each one of those nodes is worth $250,000 today. So Wooden Boat, what's up? He sends a super sticker.
Nice.
This is like a little
all the way from
sort
Canada.
of a yeah. I almost really think like we should do some screen sharing so I can really show what this is. It's like a little dancing sort of a dude right there.
Oh, there you go.
So it's like we can't see it in our software. It's like a little dancing dude.
It's messed up. They should allow us to show the whole.
No, right?
Thing.
I mean, it's like maybe because it doesn't take the GIF in. It's just like a little dude getting his groove on.
That'd be so cool to see that.
Right? So I think I'm gonna have to do that more and more because it's like you got to really take advantage of these things, man. Yeah, someone puts a lot of creativity into choosing the right super sticker. And meanwhile, what do we see here? Super sticker. Oh, come on, really? Thank you for that, Wooden Boat. And guys, a wooden boat. Never discount a wooden boat, okay? Because at the end of the day, that's all that's going to be left. The metal's going to corrode. You're going to be in your wooden boat. You're going to be happy. Like Sam has to the lifeboats, right? Because at some point, you're going to need that.
Ooh,
There's James.
Rule.
James Rule XRP. Thank you for that. Coming out of that. By the way,
tip.
that came via XRP. And I got to tell you, James, you did an amazing job last night running that. I was a little disappointed because I was like trying to go to sleep. I was like, oh, I'm just the perfect night. I'm just going to conk out. And I was like, got in that room. And I was like, my eyes were like lit up. I was like, oh, dude, you know, it was amazing. It was amazing. I was just, it was phenomenal. Fell from Jeff's tree.
That's right.
Got to replace that. We need to put a
in the tree.
Yeah, it was a really enlightening thing. But
I love the lemon tree. Maybe we'll do put an orange tree back there.
Up there goes another lemon tree.
What kind of tree would you guys like to see back there? That's what we'll put there. We'll put an XRP tree.
Yeah, so the other thing I forgot to mention, I think it's when I share a screen. It might be the software too, I don't know. But one other thing I forgot to mention is this is going live. Pack right now, you can buy it on Biloxi Exchange, but it's as of Monday, it's going live on BitTrue. If you log into BitTrue now, you'll see a little banner. So it's going live on BitTrue. When that happens, it's going to go crazy, man.
Hey, so, Phoenix Starborn is here. Holy cow.
Phoenix Starborn. How you doing, man? Still alive, dude. That's good to hear, man. I haven't heard from you in a while, man. That is good to hear. hope you're doing well, man. Staying well.
So Apex is saying, he's asking Channing, how much pack do you have to stake for a masternode?
500,000. You need half a million.
Is that a masternode, or is there a difference between a node and a masternode?
I think it's a masternode. Yeah, 500,000. Maybe I'm wrong. Actually, James Rule knows too. So I don't know. You guys got to chime in with that. We need to get mine before they get a bit.
Oh man.
Yeah, so Channing, I know, man. Well, I've been trying to explain that I'm trying to move money, man. It is so hard to move money. It's like, dude, you know, if I was moving money to Jeff right now, we'd be sending it with our phones. Boom. Did you get it, Jeff? And be like, oh, I just got it. But man, you got to go through the old guard and stuff like that. Holy cow! I want to pull my eyebrows out.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it onto on Coinbase, turn it into a USDC, and we'll move it.
That's what you got to do. So first you buy. So the first thing you do, I learned this from James Rule. He said the first thing you do is you buy the Litecoin because it's fast. Don't buy USDT first because it's dog slow. Then you flip the Litecoin for USDT. Then you go USDT to the Paccoin. But it's an exciting project. It was nice to hear from the gentleman last night, and I had actually reached out to a couple of folks. I know I hooked up Apex Crypto today. Because I'd been in one of our other groups and said, hey, is anybody on? Because I wanted to see if anybody was on Clubhouse. I wanted them to come into the chat last night. So it was super exciting. And David Gokhshtein is so generous with his time. By the way, Jeff, I went into the room and he's like, Chip, don't worry. I didn't even say anything to him. He's like, Chip, don't worry. I'm going to do on the chain again. I'm like, David, I didn't say a thing, man. I was trying to just stay here, keep my mouth shut. He goes, no, man. I'm going to come on the show. And I was like, I want you to come on the show because I want you to. He watches the show, but I'm like, David, I want you to come on the show and let's talk pack because he doesn't really talk about it that much, and last night it was really great to hear from him and the team. Some really good tech stuff on it too, man. It's exciting. It's an exciting project, and I love it because it's been out of all of the nodes out there, this one has the most. I think there was like 13 or 14,000 or maybe 16,000, but anyway, someone's asking first of all, we don't talk about how much XRP people have. We don't ask if an X enough. We keep that to ourselves. We don't talk about that.
I think I have one in my pocket.
That's a good question. What is the pack supply? I don't even know what the supply is.
What is the pack?
I don't know what the supply is. I know that if you...
What is the coin?
It's, what is it? Hang on a second. Just go to David's, Gokhstein's Twitter, and then he's got the URL on there. Someone will probably drop it in there. Channing or James or...
Someone drop it. Drop it.
Let's see. Yeah.
Would have been nice to get on pack when it was 0.00005.
Oh, it would have been. Yeah, it would have been. Well, that was when he was on the show, but he had a different use case back then, if you recall.
Yeah.
There was an environmental thing. Remember that?
Yeah, it wasn't so interesting.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
However, if you have a token for carbon credits, now that's something. There you go. Max supply is 50, whatever those are.
What is that? How many zeros are in there? It's 100,000. That's million. 50 billion.
That's 50 billion. The supply out there that's out right now is 13 billion. Interesting. Chip is frozen.
Yeah, because you know what? It's when I go to a screen. That's what it is. It's like there's a memory leak in this shit, man.
XYO is like GPS 2.0. Appreciate the support, Majestic. What is XYO?
This is it right here. Check this out. Frictionless transactions anywhere.
What is
Our wallets are secure, trusted, compatible with most operating systems. There's the partners. So then there's your wallet.
Oh, that's the pack. Dude, all right. We're going to work it out this weekend, and we're going to set up a master node come next week.
Set it up. And then you know what the great thing is
need
that
500,000 of them, right? 500,000 packs.
Yeah, that's it. 500,000. Right.
We'll do it this weekend. We'll get it done.
Get her done.
That way we'll have a pack, we'll have a node. It'll be exciting because then we can talk about the pack master node on the chain. And the node is going to be called on the chain. How cool would that be? Be awesome.
I like on the chain bitches. What do you think about that? That's just what I'm thinking. It's just
that'd be perfect.
My gut instinct. I'm not saying it's right or anything, but I just like has like a nice, it rolls off your tongue. On the chain, bitches. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Set this up, boys, says Andrew Nation.
Oh, it's like where can
or right now
where do you even get pack?
Yeah, so right now you can buy it on Bilaxy, Bilaxy. However, come Monday, which the price is gonna go crazy on Monday. So it's gonna be on Bitra on Monday. So
as soon as it goes to
Bilaxy.
Spell it.
Bilaxy.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I never did either.
.com.
.com. Yep, that's it. Yep. Put it up there, Jeff. So I freeze up if I do it, but there it is.
Let me pull it up there. Hang on. Boom. Is that it? That's it.
That's it. Bilaxy.
Bilaxy.
If you want to get it before Monday, that's where you got to go.
It's in Chinese.
Yep. Exactly right.
There you go. Let's change it out of Chinese, put it into English. All right. So that's interesting. So what would we be looking for then in this case? We have to type in pack.
Well, you can't go to pack. You first have to, as I said, you buy Litecoin somewhere else. You move Litecoin over there. You flip Litecoin to USDT and then USDT to pack.
So we have to find pack on here. I don't see it.
It's there. Let's check it out the other day. You got to get USDT to pack. Is that what do you want?
Here we go. Putting in a different order so I can find P.
Just do a Command F there, or Control F, and you can just hit pack. Well, you don't look for it, man. Use the tools, my man. Control F. Put PAC in there. You'll find it. I'll load it up over here.
Yeah.
Biloxi Blues, dude.
Don't like that. Didn't work.
Well, it's on there because I was looking at it the other night. Anyway, James will tell you.
I'll have to look it up. There you go. Sweet. Very cool.
So there it is.
I'll explain the process. Another one of these processes.
Yeah, it's all some kind of complicated stuff.
That's it.
Yeah, you can also buy it on apparently, what is this? GravyX, says Mr. K. Is that right? Yeah, Pack, you can buy it there too. So
Pascal.
But David Gockstein told me to buy it on Biloxi, so that was one of the better exchanges. So, but GravyX, there's Pack, the USDT right there.
Oh, here it is. Is it Pascal? Is this is it right here?
PAC, Pack.
It's PASC.
No, it's PAC, Pack.
That's not it.
I don't know what that is.
Pascal isn't it?
No, PAC.
Okay. Next.
Packies.
All right, so that's not it.
Yeah, it's
no. Leprechaun.
There you go. So anyway, guys, I think really what we need to talk about is something very special, which is the meetup. And we've got a good number of people registered for this, but I want to see more of the OTC family registered for this puppy, man, because it's coming up in a week and a half, and I want to see you guys. I enjoyed it last time hanging out with you. So OTC1. Guys, first of all, you can go subscribe to our podcast. There it is, otc.one/podcast, and here's the meetup. I'm so glad we shifted to these. Yep, there it is.
Really cool. So we got, you type that in, otc.one/meetup. We'll bring you right to the page. So everybody that's in here right now, go to that page and register for the virtual meetup, March 28th.
I just dropped it in the chat.
9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, there you go. That's even easier.
No excuses, man. It's right there.
9 days, 12 hours, 2 minutes, and 17 seconds away for the virtual meetup sponsored by On the Chain. It's our second meetup. Just ask Apex. He'll tell you all about it. Apex was there. He had a great time. So yeah, let's get into that.
The chain.
Nice.
So
that is awesome. You know what? Today's Thursday. I keep forgetting what today is. There's no On the Chain tomorrow, and then we'll be back Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys are brand new to the show, find that big red subscribe button and hit it. Hit that subscribe button down below, and then click the little bell notifier. That way you get notified every time we go live. The other thing, when you do subscribe and you hit the bell notifier, it actually somehow it helps with the algorithms. The YouTube AI is a little, crazy like that, especially if you give some thumbs up. You do that whole thing, it helps the show. We appreciate everybody every night being on here with us Sundays through Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, on Saturday mornings early at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. We enjoyed it. Had a great week. Get ready for Saturday. Have yourselves a nice Friday night. Be safe this weekend. We'll be back. You can always tweet us and do all that stuff, but we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.